Hey there, book lovers and life enthusiasts. Have you ever felt like midlife is a time of endings rather than beginnings? Well, Eleanor Mills, in her book Much More to Come, flips that script entirely. And I'm thrilled to dive into this empowering guide that's set to change how we view the middle years of our lives. Eleanor Mills, the former editorial director of the Sunday Times and the founder of noon.org.uk, has crafted a book that's part memoir, part self-help, and entirely inspiring. And today, I'll share some of the most compelling stories from this book, the key lessons it teaches us about midlife, and a few of the secrets Eleanor offers at the end of each chapter. So let's jump right in. One of the most powerful aspects of Much More to Come is the personal stories Eleanor shares, both her own and those of women. These narratives bring the book's messages to life, showing us that midlife challenges can indeed lead to beautiful transformations. Take Sarah's story, for instance. After 20 years of marriage, Sarah suddenly found herself divorced at 48. Initially devastated, she shares how she used this major life change as a catalyst for reinvention. Sarah had always dreamed of running her own business, but had put those aspirations on hold for her family. Post-divorce, she took the leap, started a successful online boutique, and even began dating again. Her story just isn't about surviving divorce, it's about thriving and rediscovering herself in the process. Then there's Eleanor's own journey. She candidly discusses leaving her high-profile job at the Sunday Times, a position she'd held for over 20 years, and that largely defined her identity. This career upheaval led her to create Noon, a platform dedicated to empowering midlife women. And Eleanor's story teaches us that sometimes what feels like an ending can actually be the beginning of something even more fulfilling. And one of my favorite stories in the book is about Maria, who viewed menopause as a turning point rather than a crisis. Instead of complaining about the changes in her body, Maria saw this as an opportunity to focus on herself after years of caring for others. She took up painting, a passion she'd abandoned in her youth, and even had her first exhibition at 55. Maria's story beautifully illustrates how midlife changes can reignite long forgotten passions. Now let's talk about some of the key challenges Eleanor addresses in the book and the valuable lessons she imparts. First up is the empty nest syndrome. Eleanor doesn't sugarcoat the emotional impact of children leaving home, but she reframes it as an opportunity for rediscovery. She advises women to use this time to reconnect with old interests or develop new ones. And one practical tip she offers is to plan a major trip or project for when your child leaves home, giving you something exciting to focus on during that transition. And dating post-divorce is another challenge Eleanor tackles head on. She acknowledges the intimidation factor of modern dating apps, but encourages women to approach dating with a sense of adventure rather than dread. Eleanor shares stories of women who found love in their 50s and 60s, reminding readers that it's never too late for romance. Her advice: be clear about what you want, don't settle, and remember that you're not the same person you were in your 20s. And that's a good thing. I hadn't read Eleanor's book when I found myself divorced the year my daughter went to college, but I did take this approach to dating, and it made something that could have been dreadful, fun, and exciting. When it comes to menopause, Eleanor takes a refreshingly positive approach. Rather than focusing solely on the physical challenges, she highlights how this transition can be empowering. She encourages women to see menopause as a time of increased wisdom and decreased tolerance for nonsense. Eleanor provides practical advice on managing symptoms, but also emphasizes the importance of celebrating this new phase in our life. Throughout Much More to Come, Eleanor shares what she calls secrets, practical tips for not just surviving, but thriving in midlife. And let me share a few of my favorites. Secret number 1, the power of saying no. Eleanor emphasizes that midlife is a perfect time to set boundaries and prioritize what truly matters. She encourages readers to practice saying no to obligations that don't serve them, making room for activities and relationships that bring joy and fulfillment. The second secret is all about embracing change as growth. Eleanor argues that the constant flux of midlife, changing bodies, relationships, and circumstances is an opportunity for reinvention rather than a series of losses. She advises readers to approach each change with curiosity. What can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? Lastly, Eleanor stresses the importance of community. She believes that building supportive networks with other women is crucial for navigating midlife challenges. The book is filled with stories of women who found strength, inspiration, and practical help through friendships with other Queenagers. And as we wrap up this review, I want to emphasize the key message of Much More to Come. Midlife isn't a crisis. It's a time to shed old expectations and become who we've always wanted to be. Eleanor Mills has created a warm, witty, and wise companion for women embarking on their midlife journey. Through personal stories, practical advice, and empowering perspectives, she shows us that there is indeed much more to come in our middle years and beyond. And if you listen to it on Audible, you get to listen to her fun and witty personality and that wonderful English accent. The book challenges the narrative that women become invisible as they age, instead painting a picture of vibrant, confident women embracing our Queenager years with gusto. Eleanor encourages us to see midlife as a time of opportunity, a chance to reassess our priorities and pursue long-held dreams and live authentically. So if you're ready to embrace your Queenager years, or if you know someone who is, read the book, listen to it, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and follow it so that you can get more book reviews and more tips and insights. Plus, there's a lot of guided meditations for you as well.